Ridhima, let me take you to something a little more serious in terms of many people say that the climate change now is a time bomb which is ticking. But very few people seem to have an idea about it. We often keep hearing about it, but then we leave it. We don't seem to be doing anything about it. So, to the viewers, if you have to, in your own words, make somebody understand how serious it is. So, what's the message that you have for people to take the issue of climate change seriously?
To be honest, it's just like uh, it's like to be honest, as being a kid, I would just say that my future basically depends on the decision taken today, and the future of kids like me and the coming generations' future depend on what's going to happen today and what's the decision that are gonna be taken today. And at the same time, it's like we have started witnessing the effects of climate change, like flash floods and droughts and landslides and locust and even Amphan that we recently this year we faced a lot of these things out. But still, it's like people do find out that it's happening naturally, and it's all which has been happening naturally. But it is not. It happens naturally, but but what we are doing, it's giving it a kind of boost,
Yeah, yeah,
so that it is like the impact that it is having is really really terrifying. And at the same time, it's like we are chopping out trees, we are destroying out other species, and we kind of like we humans have made this ideology that we are the superior one, and other species are just there. It's like they are not really important, they are just there, but it is
right.
not the thing. It's like
Yeah,
many of the scientific reports even said that we can't live on earth, we can't exist on earth if there would be no bees. So bee is such a like tiny creature, but it is really important for us to live. And you're cutting this ginormous tree and just saying that, oh, we could live out there, but you can't. It's basically many kids out there are dying because of air pollution, they are dying because of the stagnant water that they're drinking because they don't have the clean one. And they, if I ask a person or a kid drinking a stagnant water, if I would ask them why you are drinking it, why you don't you drink clean water, they would be like, we don't have money to buy purifiers for cleaning the water, and we don't have the proper resources. Where do we get the water from? It's just like what we get, we have to drink it to survive. And it's like not everyone has that much money to buy air purifiers and to have buy ginormous mask and anything. Or even like in the coming time we would need oxygen cylinders. No one, everyone doesn't really have that much money. And
yeah,
to be honest, it's like the ones, those who are having the money are destroying the things. But as being common people and being the one most vulnerable, we have
yeah.
to think about ourselves as well. Not just only, okay, the party which I support is doing good, even if it's doing the worst thing. It's not the state. You doesn't really have to just think about yourself. Don't be selfish. To be honest, think about the coming generations. Think about the decision that you are taking, that or the one who you support, then the decision that they are taking. How long? Think about like how they are going to affect us in long term. Don't just think about that. Okay, we are going to get profit for few years, but that profit is can destroy your whole life. So just think about the perspective broadly, and just take your time and understand that what you're doing is really right. And because it's like being a child, I would just ask you, sir, that when you were a kid, you had the same problems like air pollution or stuff. Because like my dad says that when he was a kid, he used to drink water from tap when he used to go to school, and even it uses to snow uses to fall where he used to live, but now it doesn't. Snow falls there, and even my dad was like, there was not air pollution at that time, and there were not really many vehicles out there, but we used to live happily because we had healthy surroundings to live on. And even still, like he was like, we didn't used to get so much affected, like we didn't used to get sick each and every day like you are getting these days. So somewhere it's like we are not getting the proper environment to grow properly as the elders get. So think about like if you had a nice childhood, why can't we? And just leave a little bit for the coming generations as well. Don't be selfish.
Absolutely. So that takes me to one of the things that you said. Politicians, our politicians should behave, or ministers should think of themselves not just as politicians or policymakers, but also as parents and grandparents. So how did they react to this? I mean, I'm sure that there must have been reactions in some way or the other when you said this. So did you get a positive reaction to start with? Did somebody come and say, "Good"? I mean, what you're saying is very very correct.
To be honest, it's like common people do come to me and say like, yes, you're doing great, and we would like to support you out. But from the politician side, I would just say like, I don't know, like whether not listening, or whether they are pretending not to listen, or whether they are like acting as like they are deaf, to be honest, because I haven't really got any response from their side. It's just like me shouting out, doing the things like writing letters to them, and posting out videos, basically which is for them basically to react, but they never reacted, not even in negative way. They never reacted to it. They were just like, oh, we didn't see it. It's just like happening like that.
Right.
Please join me in welcoming all the way from India, Ridhima Pandey. She will be speaking about the relationship of climate change, air pollution, and pneumonia.
Good morning, everyone. Can I ask everyone to take a deep breath? And now, release it. Isn't it a relief to breathe again? Can you imagine not being able to inhale? Do you know that this is the reality of millions of children across the globe when they breathe polluted air?
Right. And Ridhima, video that I saw, that we saw just now, how do you get this kind of a courage to do public speaking? Having ideas, wanting to do something is one thing. To stand in front of, very learned, very educated, very senior people, and that too from various countries. Uh, are you do you experience stage fright at all, or you have no fear in speaking in front of people?
To be honest, I do get a little nervous whenever, even if I have a little small conference with anyone, or even if I have a small call or something. So I do have this kind of thing that I get nervous each and every time when I have a talk, or whenever I have a like call or anything. But it's just like I never prepare for anything. It's just like I go out on stage and I just speak what comes to my mind and what I really feel. I really want to talk to these people. And at the same time, it's like my talk really depends on how my audience reacts. If they are like really if they are really enjoying what I am like talking to them, or if they really are the one who are really listening, then I can talk for hours and hours. But if they're not really listening to what I'm saying, and if they are like okay, just like why it's not getting over, then I kind of like get frustrated, and I just want to stop out it there, and I just like start kind of it's just like it happens that I kind of like lose my confidence, and what really happens is like after that I'm just like okay, so it's like okay, thank you for listening to me and I just like walk out, because it's like at that time I feel like it's just waste of time like talking to them because they are not really listening out.
So, which was the most intimidating venue, the most intimidating occasion for you to have speak? I mean, we all go through this, right? For certain things, we have to prepare at our best, and there'll be a lot of nerves before you do it, because you start visualizing it, and then you get a little bit of nervousness and nervous energy here and there. So, which was the most that way the most difficult one for you?
Uh, it would be probably the first one, because it's like at that time I was 9, so it's
Right.
just like I got a interview to go like to come to Paris, and they were having a climate change like a summit on like climate change and environment. So they asked me to come out there as a guest speaker.
Okay.
So I never like talked about these things publicly, to be honest, like in front of so many people earlier. I do had like I do used to participate in cultural activities and stuff in my school, and I used to go to stage every day. But they were like my friends, and like they were my schoolmates. So I really didn't felt afraid. So I was like very chilled out in the beginning, and I was really excited to go out there. But when I went to the venue and I entered over there, and I saw so many people, and I was like, "Your turn is like in 10 minutes," and I really didn't knew what I'm gonna speak. I was like, "What should I talk about?" They were like, "Just talk whatever you want," and I was like, I was having my pen and copy, and I was like, "What should I talk?" And I was writing out things, and I was cutting them up. I was writing out things, and I was cutting them up. But at the end, I just like went there and just like speak whatever I felt like. And I was like, I totally messed it up, and I was like, okay, now I have done like a big mistake that I didn't prepare for that.
So I want to ask you this here. I mean,
Uh-huh.
most of your speeches, are they scripted fully, or you just have your basic points jotted down on a piece of paper, or you don't carry anything at all? The ones I heard you live, you spoke for 45 minutes without even a single piece of paper on your hand. But when you started it, I mean, was it that way? Was the speech scripted, or did you have your points, or it's just plain? You go and deliver what comes to you.
Yeah, it's the last one. I just like go out there and I just like speak whatever I want to. So I never had point, because it's like when I have a scripted thing, whenever I have the pointers, I get distracted from that, and I was just like, okay, so this slice comes after this, and I have to talk about this point, I have to cover this point out, I have to do this and this. So I am like a person who would mess the things up if I have the things scripted, because it's like when I give the TED talk, it's really important for you to draft the script, and after that, you have to practice it down, or you have to talk about, like, you have to speak your script only. That was the one which was really difficult for me, because I can't mold it out, and it was only one practice that we had, and it was just like go take, and if you made any mistake, then it's your fault. So I was really nervous for that, and I somewhere felt like it's just like memorizing, and you are telling a essay to someone, because that is not what you really feel is coming out. That's the script that you like someone has made, and you are reading out it out. So I've never had any script. It's just like some exceptional case in which it is a requirement from the organizers that I have to make a script, and I have to work according to that. At that time, I do have scripts, but other than that, I never really take out any piece of paper. I just search and do some little bit of research that okay, this is this I'm going to talk about, and that's just it.
Your initial petition was rejected, but then the world started to know you. So when did your movements start to gain momentum? When did people start to join in now? So it's a movement, as we call it, right? So now from where you started, I'm sure that you garnered support, and there's a lot of support that you get. So when did that actually start happening?
So it's like in 2017 when I did the petition, I didn't really got that support. It was a little bit media coverage that happened and stuff. But after that, tone was really like, okay, we should do this. So if I had plans, no one really did really wanted to support. So it's like, but things really changed out after like my complaint at United Nations with other 15 kids. After that, when I came back, it was just, I don't know, it was just a kind of fight going on, that everyone was just calling me out when I was in New York, and everyone was just like, okay, if you can't really attend our show, you can just like send us the video. We could play out the video. Just say, okay, I am Ridhima Pandey, your name, and just like what you have done, and we would play it out. And once I was in Delhi, I had to come out from the airport to give an interview, and then I had to come back and check in like again, because they needed the interview. And after that, once didn't even came out from the airport, and there were media reporters out. So like the UN petition, like the UN lawsuit really made an impact, and from there people started like giving real importance to what I'm saying, and they started recognizing that yes, what I'm saying is really worthy, and it's like people started taking me seriously, to be honest. And many kids really wanted to join in and wanted to have events and stuff. So it all happened after the United Nations lawsuit.
So now there are a lot of people who look up to you as a role model, and kids have also started to realize, or even parents have started to realize that it's okay to stand for your rights and you're safe, right? Great.
Yeah.
Now, what are your current activities? And now, especially the lockdown would have slowed down a lot of your activities, like it has in every sphere of life, in most cases. But how do you manage? I'm sure that one of the things that you do is do this online conferences and meetings and all that. So, has it affected your movement, or what are the activities that you have currently?
Um, so it's like it's just going on like most probably it's like online meetings like that I have. So it's like online events that are happening nationally and internationally. And after that, I did IG lives earlier, but now somewhere I've stopped it. And I am planning about it, like to do the IG lives to start it again in the future. And it's just like at ending IG lives of others as speakers and having lot many meetings and kind of like I would say kind of like online workshops with students and stuff. And at the same time, it's just like I am writing letters and stuff. So it's like recently I wrote letter to the Prime Minister as well on air pollution, and it's just like I'm sort of like just everything is just going on online now. Started doing. I have taken up strikes as well. Because it's like earlier, it there wasn't like really many strikes happening in Dehradun, or like never like strikes never happens at my place. It's like now things are going on online, so I'm just like doing online strikes and stuff. And it's just pretty much everything is just going on online. But yeah, it's sort of like affected my activism some way because I had lot many events and stuffs and workshops planned, and I even had some plans for the abroad as well. But everything certainly got cancelled out, and it's like most of them we have done online, but for some we are trying to like postpone it. We are just like postponing it again and again, but we don't really know like because they were like grand programs, so we really wanted to do them as like grand as they were, not just like sitting like in front of our laptops and just like talking to the people. We really wanted to meet up people and have the great interactive conferences. So we are thinking about we would take them further as well, but it's just like pretty much everything is just going on online these days.
I know, it's a very sad scenario, and hopefully we'll come out of it very soon as well. Now, Ridhima,
Yeah.
I want to ask you, the one side, the public side, that we get to see the activist, the very serious Ridhima. We'd also like to know a little bit about Ridhima, at home and at school. I mean, since you always talk about very serious stuff, do your parents always listen to you, or do you get scolded by your parents as well, like kids of your age, other kids of your age?
Yeah, it's just like I am a normal kid at my home. It's like it's my home. I doesn't really talk a lot about these things. I do study about the things, but most of the time, like I pass out these days. I pass out time watching TV with my brother, fighting for the remote, basically.
Oh, you got a
And
younger
fight.
brother. You got a younger brother, right?
Yeah.
How old
So
is he?
he is uh, 9 or 10. I'm not sure.
Okay. What's his name? What's his name?
His name is Shu.
Sure. Okay. So now it's good to know that you fight not just for clean water and clean air. You also fight for your TV remote as well.
Yeah, it happens a lot during this lockdown.
Right. So on that note, we will actually slip into another video. This is a video when I was personally present there, and I could see hundreds of kids
Okay.
gathered to listen to you, and just get a glimpse and listen to what you have to say. So even before that, and I remember when we stayed at the same hotel, but the day before that, like I could hear kids saying that tomorrow Ridhima is there, and we have to listen to her and all that.
For this, what we have to do, we have to fight for our rights. Because nobody is gonna jump up and come, like, say that I'll fight for your right. Because nobody doesn't care about your rights, nobody cares about your future. And you are the person, you are the one you have to fight. Because without fighting, just sitting on your homes and saying it, yes, conditions are getting very worse. Because I've seen many people, like many older generation people, they're saying like, yes, beta, you're doing great. The things are getting worse and worse day by day. We support you. We trust you. You're gonna make a change. But yeah, I don't want your support. I don't want your appreciation. I want you to work.
There are followers, and obviously it's not possible for everybody to meet you in person, right? And obviously, when you travel for these kind of functions and seminars and shows, definitely people will get to listen to you live. But otherwise, I'm sure most of them will be following your work on social media and through other media as well. But if there is a message, when I say message, do you think there are a lot many more like you who can actually follow your footsteps and then do similar things and make a difference to society? So, what would your, if not an advice, at least a strong suggestion or a message to those people, more or less of your age, maybe slightly younger, slightly older? So, what would that be? If there is a message that you want to send out?
I would just say that it's just like everyone has a capability to bring up the change. It's just like you had it's just like you should have the will to do the thing, and it's just like I wouldn't say that follow what I am doing, or you should follow the steps that I have been taking and do the same things out. You can do like whatever you can or whatever you really want to. It doesn't have to be the same things or the same things like attending events and going to schools to make the students out aware and make them empowered. It could just be like you living at your home and making your like trying to living a sustainable life. And what, because it's like what I feel, it's like once you are like aware about the thing that okay, so it's really important for you to take action and to you to learn about climate change and global warming, and you feel like my family members should know about this as well, so you should teach your family members about this. And once you are like you and your family are doing it right, you should take out your maybe your sibling, your cousins, and you should go out to your society or maybe just to the colony where you're living, and you should make them aware about the things, and then you can form a small group, because you are the one who are educated now and you are trying to live a sustainable life, and you are taking out measures, and you feel like okay, so this is not really that difficult, and you could go out in your community, in your locality, and can make them aware, and after that you can just like go out like to your state and then to your country and elsewhere as well. So it is going to be like it is going to take time. It, of course, things wouldn't really happen suddenly. Okay, and today you started living a sustainable life and you would become a really big known activist, so these things like never happen these days. And at the same time, it's like unless and until you come out from your like from a comfort zone, you're not really trying out your best. So it is really important for everyone to like step out from their comfort zone and try to at least adjust in the little that you have, and like just doing whatever you can and putting your heart and soul into the work that you are doing would be great in my opinion.
Wonderful. So that's a message for everybody out there. Now, Ridhima, much of your mind space will be taken by climate activism. I'm sure that that occupies your mind most of the time. So, do you have hobbies? So, what are your hobbies if you have?
uh, it's like I kind of like singing, dancing, and it's just a thing which I do, like just sitting alone in my room, locking my room, and doing these things. But yeah, other than that, I just like love going to rescue centers and for wildlife safaris, and I really love playing with the animals. It's just like if there's a street dog or like if I see any cat or stuff, I just like really want to go out and play with them.
Do you get a special treatment at school? People look at you as a celebrity or somebody who's a very popular figure, so you get that special treatment at school from the teachers and the students?
No.
No. Good. Okay, so let me ask you this question, which anybody of your age would, face at this point. What do you want to become? What's your ambition?
So it's
Okay,
like,
let me make it easier for you. Let me split that into two pieces. One is obviously I know that we expect a lot more from you in terms of this, the domain that you have been involved in. So we expect you to make more and more difference, contribute more and more. Then we are like that, right? When somebody is good at something, we expect we try to squeeze that person and get maximum out of it. But in the process, I'm sure that the society is going to benefit. The world is going to benefit in this case. But apart from that, I mean, what are your professional aspirations, if you have any?
mm, it's just like, I am not sure. It's gonna be a very vague answer, but it's just like I haven't really decided what I want to be because I'm like really confused whether I would continue being an activist or whether I would work. I would set up my own organization or would work with that, or maybe I would to like step into like science figure of it, or maybe like researcher figure of it. I'm not sure about it, but yeah, it's like I'm just sure that I would be in the same field because really like love working in this field. I really kind of enjoy working for the animals and for the conservation of nature itself.
One last question, Ridhima.
Mhm.
Having been involved in a serious cause like this, do you think you miss out on some of those things that kids of your age normally enjoy?
I wouldn't say that because it's like if I would say that I have missed those things, it's like always it's like every time I have this choice that I could just like skip out my activism and I could just live a life of like ordinary kid. But it's just like I really like doing these things, so I wouldn't say that I missed those things, but I would say like yes, I somewhere get less time to do those things as normal kids would do. I guess less time to spend with my family, with my friends, and I guess less time to like play out with my pets, with my friends out there, and to just like do other activities. But yeah, I sort of like enjoy doing these things, and I just like love like going to schools and basically meeting our kids and attending events and meeting out kids and other people and talking to them and making new friends.
Lovely. Ridhima, I got inspired talking to you, and whenever I met you, whenever I've listened to you, I've always felt inspired, and this time it's not been different. I'm sure that people who watch this particular interview, particular chat between us, I'm sure is going to inspire a lot of people. So, Ridhima Pandey, at the age of 13, you are not just an interesting person, an interesting Indian, but also a great reference point and a hugely inspiring kid as well. So keep up the good work. We expect more from you. The country needs you, and the world needs you as well. So may the Almighty bless you with all the energy that you require, all the strength that you require, because your fight is a very serious one. Congratulations, and all the very best for a very bright future. Thank you so much, Ridhima. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.